Awesome. All right, great. We're live. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me on this Heal Hangout. I'm always so happy to do these because it's kind of how we all came together in this group, is we were sharing all about health. And I've decided to continue doing this every Thursday. And it's all around health, wellness, and frequency. And I am just going to be sharing all the things that I love. And you know, I'm really interested in unconventional things that maybe you haven't heard about. I love to challenge myself. I'm all about pushing boundaries, pushing through fear, challenging the mind. And there is absolutely nothing better than this to challenge your mind. It's become one of my favorite practices. And I am just so excited to introduce you to David, because he's someone that I met on my travels in Guatemala this year. And it was actually my friend who found this event, and it sounded really, really different and interesting. And I was like, let's do it. Let's go and do it and to see what happens. And I was hooked straight away. And as some of you know, I love to get like really good results. And I have to say it's really changed my life on so many levels in terms of how I feel generally with energy in my body. And there are only a couple of things that I'm really advocate for, but this is one of them. So welcome, David, and everyone that's joining live. Please tell us where you're living in the chat box. So we're going to try to help you how to find these at the end and how to best, how you could find this amazing tool. All right. David, do you want to just welcome yourself, introduce yourself, and let us know where you are right now? That would be a good start.
Hi guys, my name is Dawid Bajora. I'm living in Poland. This is where I'm born, and I'm actually in my hometown right now, in my mom's house, right next to the forest. And yeah, it's just been a very big blessing to meet Abby at my travels, because this was my second year in a row that I was traveling to Mexico and Guatemala, and sharing this beautiful practice of the acupress boards with the collective there, because I really feel like the whole world needs to know about these boards, and it's really our mission, and we feel from the level of the heart we are obligated to just show the people what this is and teach the people this, because we can make miracles with this tool.
And I agree. I mean, like, so acupress boards, let's just rewind. So what are acupress boards? Like, how did you come across it? Like, how did you come across this practice yourself?
I would say around 7 years ago, I met this amazing woman from Siberia. She's a yoga instructor. She's a very talented dancer, singer. She plays instruments. She's really an angel, Elvina is just an angel. That's the shortest way to describe her. And about 3 years ago, she made a post on her Instagram showing how she stand on the nail boards for the first time. I watched these 5 short videos, and it was like my heart and my soul, which is inside, just knew right then that I want this tool in my life. Like, there was just certainty. There was no fear. There was no doubt. I didn't hesitate to ask Alvina anything. I just directly contacted this terapeut, and I was waiting very long time for the first boards because the shipping was very expensive. So for, I would say, around 2.5 months, for not even a quarter of a second, being such a always analyzed, overthinking brain like I was almost all my life, I didn't even have stress for 1 second. Is it going to be hard? Am I going to cry? Am I going to even do it? There was just like this peace of mind in the heart, like just knowing that I did the right thing.
That's a really nice explanation, because right now, shipping can take time, right? And actually, that people can get frustrated and waiting for shipping. I mean, that in itself. But you were just it. Maybe you were previous in a past life doing this. You were a master.
I have no idea, but I know it just called me in such a way like never nothing in my life.
Well, I tell you something. Since I've been standing on these boards, I still feel it in my feet now when I think about it. It's like,
Uh-huh.
it's almost like a muscle. You remember the sensation of it. And we are going to talk about what it feels like and how to actually do the practice as well. And I want to also at some point start to do sessions within a group online to help us to practice doing this, because it's nice to have a group energy to help you to kind of like motivate you to stand on the boards in the first place, because it is, for some it's more challenging, right, than others. Can you give us a little bit of a understanding of what actually happens to the body when you're standing on these boards, and how you begin?
It's really in the beginning, it's not about even worrying about, am I gonna stand? I'm too big, I'm too fat for all this and all this, nonsense that our brain is just making us think that, oh, it's gonna be so hard, it's gonna be so painful. We don't need to worry about that, because doing the practice, even the first month, just in the sitting position, and doing the second step, which is just putting the hands on the chair and slightly just lifting the butt a little bit up and moving the body forward so we just fall a little bit deeper on them, is more than enough. And even when it's overwhelming, just the sitting position, we can do it in very thin socks and it's still working. Since
Mm-hmm.
we're kids, our parents are putting us shoes on the feet, and then our shoes are being very much misformed. The fingers on the toes just become a totally different shape than a natural one. For instance, a very, very healthy person's feet, we can notice that they can spread the fingers on the feet the same like we can do with the palms of the hands. We don't wear tight gloves all year long. That's why we can make this. Since we wear tight socks and tight shoes that don't serve us, the feet is getting weaker and weaker, and we really have to look at our feet like it's the fundament of our body. And it's the same if a house have not a good fundament, a wind, a storm comes, and the house goes. The same goes with the tree with the bad roots. If the roots is not strong, how can the tree be strong? And the feet are so neglected because from day one nobody teaches us that our whole body map is basically on our feet. If we have 72,000 nervous receptors in both feet, we can really heal and stimulate every single organ within our body, and starting with the head, because everything what has to do with the head is on the bottom of the fingers of the palms of the hands, and this is exactly the same on the feet. So when we start to do the practice and we're doing it even in a sitting position, and as you guys gonna like move to the front with your fingers to press a little bit down on the toe fingers, then you really feel what's happening, because then you're totally activating everything in the head. And we can observe all the little programs in here that want to take us in charge and really treat us kind of like we're some machine and the brain is our autopilot, and it's just giving us all the excuses. It's really about just letting ease of all these emotions, just breathing. And this is not like when we have in the gym or in some competition people showing how strong they are and how much they can do pull-ups. This is none of that. All those strong people, most of the time, they're actually even more scared of the boards than the people that really feel like they need to do something about their healing. Because the big people, the ones with big muscles and big mass, they're protecting kind of what's really vulnerable on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So they just want to look so strong on the outside. But then I have these situations 100 times in the gyms. These big people, they're just scared, they're just really scared. They don't want
Yeah,
to they don't want to show that they can be weak in something, so they're not even going to go in it. Like they just prefer to be big, and all the muscles is very stuck. And here with this practice, we can unleash all those tensions from the body. Every single stress that we had in our life, everything that's really programmed in our body, like a trauma, like a bad argument that we had with a close friend or with family, whoever, all these emotions that trap in our bodies, we can really unleash them with this practice when we do it regularly.
So like, I mean, this is such an amazing topic. I mean, I love talking to you. I mean, I'm sure everyone here can feel his passion, feel David's passion, because it really is a technique that it can bring you closer to your heart space, right? You can really open you up on every level. And I'm really interested actually on like, what's been your experience since you've been standing on the nails? How often do you stand on them? Like, what is kind of the regular practice?
I stand on the boards 4 times a week. So I do it every second day because when I do it, I just do a whole session. So I just stand on them for 30 minutes because that's our like ultimate goal, that one day it's possible for us to just stand on them for 30 minutes. And it's not really important how fast do we get there, but when we have the drive in our mind and in our heart the most that we really want to get there, guys, when that moment comes, it's like you feel like you're already running on clouds and you don't need no airplane because your body, it's already feeling like it's flying. You know what I mean? You find such a peace within. And the biggest progress in the whole sessions is not this if you're going to stand on one session 30 seconds and on the other session 1 minute. The biggest progress is we can control from the level of the heart, the mind, which is really working like a computer kind of and running us on this auto run safety programs. When the feet is on the boards and they're stimulating 72,000 nervous receptors, and we don't even hesitate for a quarter of a second to move something, the toe fingers, to lift something up, because the head has all the advice for you guys, just whispering, oh, you need to go to the toilet. Oh, you need to stand up already. Like there's a million of them. And this is really programs that you can kind of just smile to them and laugh to them and just breathe through it, because you are really the Amazona deep within, and you are really the gladiator that's deep within you that can overcome this, because our ancestors, they were running half year naked and running on rocks and chasing big animals and doing all that, and now we get to have shoes and we're so safe that we can just not wear these shoes when we are in sand. This is such a disconnection from the planet and from the nature, which we are as well. So with these boards, we're not just activating all our energy and all our chakras in a really most safest way, I would say, but we making our feet and our palms conscious, because we're really putting life back into them, and they just feel like we're 3 years old again, and we're like, oh wow, my hands are conscious, my feet is conscious. So nice. This is not just conscious and not the heart, but everything.
Wow, amazing. And I wanted to talk to you about, because okay, so I've practiced on these boards, everyone, right? And when I was in Guatemala, I was on my bare feet a lot. And barefoot is a really good topic, especially at the moment. We all need to connect ourselves as much as possible. But I found myself being able to stand on the boards much easier when I was in Guatemala. And then when I purchased my own set of boards and I was in Scotland and it's freezing cold and I've always got socks on, I found it so hard to stand on the boards. And I know when I met you in Berlin, you were like, how often are you going barefoot? And I was like, maybe not so much. But like, also you talked about like your general health, like if you're more healthy, it's also easier to stand on the boards. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's super more easier because with doing the practice, we really can get an insight of what's happening in our body. So for instance, someone has a problem with their liver or with their gut. This is going to be the points on the feet that is going to be hurting the most. And we are looking at the points that hurts the most every single time we make the session at the whole end of the session. So through the whole session, we're not really focusing, is it at the big toe finger or is it the heel or which place is hurting the most? But as we're doing the really most intense moments in the practice during the end, then we want to put a map of the reflexology of the feet so we can see which point stands for every single organ. And then we have the most perfect insight on what's happening really in the body. Because when we go to the hospital and they check our heart or they check our brain, they do nothing different than scanning those organs for the electrical capacity of the energy flowing in them. So what we are doing from our feet all the way up to our crown chakra is we're basically shooting this energy through our whole system. And for instance, young people that play video games online and they're wearing headphones a whole lot of hours, you know, and really close to the screen, they're observing almost after every session a headache. And this headache is coming not because they're sick or something, it's just because of the computer, the screen being so close to them, the energy blockages is already happening in the head, in the body. So as this energy is floating all the way through this young, healthy body to the head, the whole body is feeling just fine, but somewhere here they're becoming a headache because as this energy, as this light is moving up, is moving this blockage, and then we have an issue like we feel, oh wow, my head started hurting. And this is common for all the people that play video games and spend a whole lot of hours very close to the screen.
Wow, amazing. I mean, it's great that you can work with the physical, with what's happening. I mean, there's a lot of people here right now in this group, probably watching, who are practitioners in health, right? They are advocates for health. It might just be someone wanting to change their health. It might be someone wanting to help other people with their health. And I can tell you, this is an amazing opportunity for you to add something to your toolbox, even if you wanted to do sessions in person, if you wanted to connect with people again. You can actually buy a number of these boards now, affordable, through David and his crew. But I wanted to talk about like how it's possible for people to kind of add this to the practice, but also with what skills they have already. There's a lot of people here who already have the information of the meridians, for example, you know, the ones you were talking about with migraines.
Yeah.
They are connected to liver, well, gallbladder actually. So around this, and that often comes up with a headache, is when you have issues with the gallbladder. So people here understand health here. So it means that when you have these boards, it brings a whole other level of understanding of the body. Let's talk about the hands, because I know sometimes you put the hands on the boards, right? Yes. So what's the difference?
And the difference is when we're working with the palms of our hands, we're really working on our heart space and our lungs in the fastest possible way. Since the hands is such a short way for this energy to move, and they're right here in our center. If we're working the feet, this energy is moved here as well, but it have to travel so long through our body. So there's a close friend of mine. He ordered exactly 1 year ago the first copper nail boards that we produced. And after 6 months of the practice, he said that he feels as the traumas that his parents passed to him because they were heavy drinkers, like they're really gone out of his life. He feels like he's a totally new being. Other beautiful thing he said was basically about his lungs. Since he's a boxing coach, an ex-professional boxer, his fists were always very tight, so he was working very much with his hands, with his palms. And he said that when he's doing the brief methods of Wim Hof, that he's seen just after 2 months of regular practice, his lung capacity expanded. So if we were really working the hands regularly, and by this I mean every second day when we're not doing the feet, so then those other 3 days we're doing the palms, the lungs have such a beautiful way to regenerate, and even if the person is young, to grow a lot stronger. My friend is 31 years old. He's 31, and he said now after a few years of not professional boxing that he want to compete again in Polish championships in boxing. So I see such a drive in his life, and how he stopped swearing, how he just completely changed his life. And you know, it's when I can share with you guys, when I put my hands the first time I got my first boards 2.5 years ago, since I had like a open arm surgery here, and I had a broken bone here out. I still have the metal plate in there. I just figured after the operation, I don't want to make my hand weaker again. I'm just gonna live with it. The
Mm,
first moment I put the hands on the boards, there was some voice inside of me of weakness that said, no, no, just focus on the feet. You need to watch out for the hands. Your hand was broken, blah, blah. 6 months later in Guatemala, I felt one day like I really want to do one whole session for the hands because I never did it. After 23 minutes of just closing my eyes and breathing through it, I lifted my hands, and I would say after 15 or 20 minutes, when I raised my palms up facing my face, I just felt first time in my life like my palms of my hands became conscious. When I have this beautiful feeling, it's the first thought that comes to my mind is like, whoa, it's like I was living in chains. And now with this 23 minutes, it was like, boom, and I'm free. I set these chains free. So
mm.
this was for me the first session for my palms and the most beautiful session at the same time.
Nice. I love that. So great. So let's talk a little bit about like how, because someone's written in the chat box here that they just purchase a Shakti mat and stand on it every day. What's the difference? Because I know you talked about the copper nails.
Yeah, so
Can you tell us a bit about the difference?
of course. So the Shakti mat, this is a good tool for people if they want to relax, if they want to heal their body really. They don't want to even be trying healing their body on a plastic, because the Shakti mat, this came just to the people that start to produce it from the level of material gains. This practice with the boards that we do, this is over 2000 years old. And when we do the practice with copper nail boards, this is not just all the benefits of reflexology, of acupressure, and even all the benefits of acupuncture, although it's not puncturing the skin. It's even more than that, because the benefits of the copper for our body is so crucial that the whole world doesn't even know about it. The copper actually cleans our lymphatic system from free radicals. So from the reason why inflammation is coming when we have a lot of free radicals, and then which leads to disease, we're cleaning that stuff out of our lymphatic system. This is like the hugest things. If the 2000 years ago they would have the Nobel Prize, the people in India that figured out this beautiful technology, they should get all the Nobel Prizes, because they made a device for us that's more crucial than a toothbrush and toothpaste, and the whole freaking world doesn't know about it, guys.
I love it. And you know what, though? It's so true. It's so true. There's so many things in this world that's like so good for us, and everyone chooses like a different method, or like you said, like the pharmaceutical business, right?
Yeah.
We all know that it's totally flawed, but people go towards that, then they do the natural products that we know
Mm-hmm.
help people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just another example. And I know you talked about, like, just before we started the session, David was telling me about like a more affordable version. Can you tell us a bit about the price range? Like, because I know you create your own boards, right? Can you
Yes.
tell us the different versions, and just so people can get an understanding of how to get them? Because I know here
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people here around the world, and
Mm-hmm.
so we can arrange to get you some boards, because I know you just starting out selling it. So
Yeah.
give us a little bit of an overview.
So it's like this. The whole crew that's with me on the project. This is all like pure people that are working from the level of the heart. Daria, the girl that's designing the boards, she's actually producing furniture from wood. And when I found out in Guatemala that the war escalated last year in Poland, I just felt directly in my heart the sadness what's happening in the country. And that same moment, I cried a few times, and then I just felt like this inner power. And I just knew that we have to produce these boards here in Poland and spread them with the whole world. Because as this, conflict is happening so close, and it's really scaring the whole world, like, you know, right after covid stop, and then the wars start, like one show stop, and then they put a new show to put the people down. And it was just insight in my heart, like, we need to do this here in Poland. We need to make it on the nail that's made here from this metal that's from our ground, and it all came from the level of the heart. And we really want to put the whole world on these boards, and not just people that can afford almost 292 euros for the copper boards, because this is a big price. So we're right now working on an economic product that's going to be like from rubber. It's not gonna be made with copper. It's gonna be made, like you see here, with zinc covered steel nails, but it's still doing the reflexology, the acupressure, and the acupuncture without the pinching the skin. And for all the people that have the few extra bucks to invest in a tool that's going to serve them for the rest of their life, and maybe even become a career at one time when they're already ready for it, and when they're really working with this practice long enough that they feel it, then we have these beautiful boards made with actual real wood. They are like very thin and very light, and they are made
Mhm.
with pure copper. And we even made now a version that the nails are just a little bit slightly rounded at the edges, so they're not even that sharp. So for the people that are more mature age, or their health is not in that good condition, it's not going to be so overwhelming for their head, and they're totally going to do it, and they're totally going to fly with it.
That's really great. You've thought about
Yeah.
everything, and you talked about, I mean, for sure, if somebody put in this into the internet, they could probably find other ones, but you provide something else, right? Because this is also, it's practice, right? It's quite challenging. And so what can you provide? Because I was thinking like to do like a regular free session for people, to like a regular thing where people can work, kind of come on a call, a live call together, and we can
Yeah.
all practice at the same time,
Mhm.
and you can guide people through the process so that they feel supported. Yeah, what else do you offer?
Totally. So we're not just producing boards and selling the boards to people. To every single board, we have these beautiful brochures, and we just pick them up in English. And
Nice.
there's a very long text that show exactly why we should do this practice in our life regularly. Explain it from a really level of the people that teach reflexology, that teach acupuncture to others, because this is our patrons of knowledge. The oldest reflexology academy in Poland, affiliate of the oldest school like this from the States, and also guys that not just have an office and do acupuncture, but also teach it. So we're providing for every single person that's buying the boards from us and supporting our project a brochure that has all the information. Always we're giving them support, and totally can help them with the practice, and always give them some advice how to go through it, and what ways are there to make it even more easier. So we're not going to run from it or forget about it because it was hurting so much, but we're really going to be doing it to this moment, that all that pain and all that, tension and trauma that needs to be healed in the body, all the stress just moves out of the body, because we really want to teach the whole world how to use them and what to do with them. And when you guys join our family really and start to work with us with these boards, we totally want to share this practice with you through all your community, through all your collective, through all your friends and family. So we're going to give you total support. If you are in Europe, we can connect. If you are in the States, soon we're going to have a friend in Florida, which is going to be doing the work there from Florida. And we really want to support all you guys and show all you beautiful people how to work with this, and how to really save the whole community and collective with it, because that's why we're doing this. This didn't come to my heart from the level, oh, now we're going to make some nails, I'm going to make money. This came from such a profound way on the level of the heart, that now we're not focusing on this, that, oh, we're doing good selling this copper expensive boards. We really want to make a cheap product so we can have these boards in every single household in the world, so people are not in any other situation in the future. If they put us in some threat situation like we had in COVID times, people will not be scared, because people will have such a healer home, that these boards, they actually teach us within that we have everything in our heart and in our body to become the healer. And when we already learned that from this practice, we can start sharing this and helping others. And even to all the people that are already working like healers, this is such a cleanse for their energy, such a charger for their body. They can give so much more to others. And even if they do the most amazing body work from the level of the heart, just doing the boards with their patient for even 10-15 minutes before the session opens that body up on such a level. They don't need to be really working it hard to get in there, because this body is so tense and so scared of the pain and all this it needs to go through to let go. These boards are teaching us here how to just let go. We don't need to take some medicine before it or to smoke something before it, because we already learn it, that we find a way just to let this energy in and move and heal.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you fit so perfectly in this community, because everyone here is all about like really things that help us, like really truly for the health. And what I wanted to talk about that slightly, I know I said this would be 30 minutes, but it might go over just a little. It's really good training for the brain, like you said, like to push through the boundaries as well. People are, so another thing I wanted to say, because you travel, right? You're traveling all the time, and you have loads of boards. You come and you do like group sessions, which is, I've experienced that. And you were even doing sessions in Guatemala with sound healing connected. So it was an amazing combination. Like I was standing on the board, everyone was standing on the board, and then they had like the didgeridoo going. And I mean, a lot of people here are sound healers. You can combine it, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about that? And also where you're traveling to, because I've seen you writing in the chat here that Sarah's in Berlin. We met in Berlin recently. I know you're there quite often. Berlin's a great hub for this. And you're in the festivals, you're doing a lot of things, aren't you, moving around?
Yes, totally. I just feel like we need to move around with this practice. Now we already start to do the group sessions for big companies, for big firms, because they're starting to invest here in Poland in mindfulness for the workers, because the people is so overstressed and overstimulated. They're just bringing all the stress from work to home, and it's just going back and forward. And then we have this like not nice situation that the people is cheating on their wives, cheating on their husbands. We don't need people letting go of their emotions by abuse of some substances or going out, and doing random things with random strangers to make them feel better. And we really did already five big group sessions like this in Poland, and the effect were stunning. These businessmen, wearing ties and beautiful suits, they were like, wow, I don't even believe what happened here, because I feel so good and so relaxed. Like I haven't been feeling like this for years. We had people on wheelchairs when we did the first like pop-up in the center of Warsaw. You guys can watch it on our YouTube, but it's in Polish language. We didn't like get to put English subtitles under that yet. For sure in the future we will. This 27, 28-year-old guy comes on the wheelchair. I come to him directly because I seen that he was interested in the boards, and I just look at his shoes and I see how weak his legs are, and I just feel so like, wow, I'm even like too shy to tell him to take off the shoes. I just told him like, brother, I'm gonna give you one board. I'm gonna put one board on your legs, and please just put your hands on it. Just close your eyes and breathe for 20-30 minutes, and just do that. After 20-30 minutes of breathing, Pavel, my business partner, he comes to him with a microphone and his girlfriend's recording. And first of all, he say his name is David, same like me. I didn't even hear that because I was working already with other people. I seen that when we posted it. And then he says, and this is saying a guy in a wheelchair. And then he says, I don't remember when my body was feeling so relaxed like this moment right now. I mean, I was watching this and I had tears in my eyes because in 20-30 minutes, this young boy that's really the life is kind of flying out of him. We moved the life in him so good that he actually felt good in his body, you know? So we have such a tool. It's not just for people that are healthy and want to be healthier and live 150 years. We have such a tool that we can help the most vulnerable people. Now in Croatia, about 3 weeks ago, I seen another boy on a wheelchair. He was after a really hard fall from the fourth floor. He fell directly on his face. They saved him in the hospital, but his organs were basically not working. His mother, he lost one leg, he lost one arm. His mother was basically supporting his organs with stimulating his feet and his palms. I came over to them and I said directly to his mother, look, I don't want to sell you guys nothing. I don't even want money if you guys want to try. I really would love that your son try this what I offer, and I gave him the copper boards. First, I told his mother to put one of the board under his arm because his arm was just straight like that, and one under the one leg he have. But just after a few minutes, he says to his mom that he wants them on his back, that he wants them on the back of the wheelchair. As soon as she does that for him, maybe around after 3 or 4 minutes, he says that he's actually surprised because his nervous system is so messed up, he doesn't feel nothing but pain. And here he's actually feeling the nails. After 20 minutes of sitting like that, he said almost with tears in his eyes that why they don't produce boards like this on the wheelchairs, that this is such a life in him. And then he went on and said that for the last few weeks, he had a very hard pain in his back and the pain is gone.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I have this on my phone. I have this on my phone in English. I recorded him, you know. We're gonna post this at some time, but like there's so much work, you know. We're just collecting the material and working and collecting more material because the biggest thing we have is when people try the boards for the first time. And 2 sessions before on the street in Warsaw, these 3 older ladies came and 2 really bigger overweight. And they sit on our sofa, they lean back like they're on a vacation in Turkey. They have their not socks, but the one that the women wear on the legs. They have those thin ones on.
Stockings.
Yes, stockings. And they're laughing, like leaning back and laughing. Yeah, we don't even feel this. I'm like, ladies, a little bit to the front. And they're like, we still don't feel this. I'm like, ladies, hands on the sofa and butts up. So they do it maybe 2 or 3 times just for a quarter of a second, for a few moments. I think the whole session was not even 10 minutes. They stand up. Pavel comes to them with the microphone and says, okay, how do you feel before and how do you feel now? And the lady goes, she touched her hip and make this strange eyes like, wow. And she goes, my hips was hurting. It doesn't hurt. And my leg was hurting and it doesn't hurt too. And it was so hard to walk here. And whoa, we're gonna walk now and visit the city more. So we have such material from the people directly when they try the first time. We don't need for this moment certificates. We don't need for this moment all this, you know, patents and all this stuff. because this tool is giving such a healing to the people that when the people try it and really give it a shot and breathe with it and not in a rush nowhere, but do the whole session, they stand up, move their body a little bit, and they just say they feel light like a feather, that they feel like they're walking on clouds, or their feet is just made of cotton and it just became so like very, you know, not stuck, not hard, but very like
Soft,
jello, soft, yeah,
jelly,
soft, yeah,
soft
yeah,
and jelly. Okay,
yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure everyone here is dying to try it now. It's funny because I told my mum about it, and before she even tried it, she was like, "Oh, I can imagine what that feels like. I'd really love to try it," because she'd had pain in her foot um quite a lot recently.
Uh,
But she's had a go, and she's just sit with it. She just sits and just puts weight
mhm,
on her feet, which is
mhm.
enough.
Of
It's
course.
enough. So and I always say that as well. So I love this practice. I wanted to share it with everybody. David, you've done amazing. Like I just love listening to you and your passion. It's just great. So basically, how can people buy these boards? How can
Uh,
people get a hold of them? What are the price range for the more affordable ones and the copper ones? You recently created a website, didn't you?
Yes, yes. Our website is now working in English. We can order the boards directly on our website. We also made a promotion code for all the beautiful people in your beautiful group to share, so
Yeah.
they can get a 5% discount off. So for this moment, when we order directly from the website, we can order just for Europe. So if somebody is from a totally other continent than Europe, we can totally arrange it too, but then it's not gonna be from the website, because we cannot organize it yet so quick to have all the
Mm-hmm.
shipping costs for Australia, for US, and for all that. So right now our website is working in English for the whole European continent and also for the British Islands. We can also ship there with no problem, but we can really ship to everyone. There's just going to be like a different way to do it. And the price range is, the cheap boards right now start from 115 euro, and the more expensive boards on the pure copper nail is 292 euros.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah,
That's so good. I mean, I think
yeah,
that's pretty affordable for both ends of the spectrum for what results you get. So I am going to put your website in, and regarding the discount code, I don't even
hmm.
remember. Do you
I'm
have
gonna,
that? I don't
yeah,
even.
yeah, I have
I
it.
can email this to everybody, by the way. So everyone that's here, what I'll
Mhm.
do is I will put into the chat box in the Facebook Live, and also by email. If you're with my email list, you should get this replay by email. It's also going to be on YouTube. So I'm going to upload it to YouTube today, and I'll share the link everywhere. If you have no clue how to do it and you're in America or another country and you really want to get some, you need to send me an email, and then I can connect you and we can connect together and we can arrange for you to get the boards, and I'll help David out with orders, because I know that it'll be maybe quite a few. So I can list them, and we can make sure that you can get some boards to your country as well. So this is the website. I'm putting into the chat box in Zoom right now. I will do the same in the Facebook chat in a moment. Um, and if you've missed it and you've just joined, make sure you go back and watch the replay, because we've covered like all the possibilities that it can help you with, what this particular practice can do to support your health, including on top of all the other things that you do. And also, if you really like the practice, you could also bring this to your sessions that you do. You can buy a number of boards and create your own healing practice with your groups. And once you've bought some of the boards, I'm going to create like a regular practice on the Facebook Live, probably in Heal Avalon, on Zoom as well, and you can come and practice standing on the boards. I think that will be a lot of fun altogether. So yeah, perfect. So do you need two boards, one for each foot, or is one enough? Good question. You get, it's both. You get
Yeah,
both boards, and it's like this, and it opens up
yeah,
so you can stand on both. at the same time. Yeah, here we go, showing them. These are the ones I've got, by the way. And
Yeah.
you can also get your own, you also create your own pattern, right? Also,
Yeah,
you can get a,
we also paint on them. Like you see, these ones are painted with like the yogi hand and the eye.
mm,
We have a few already that's like painted, and the people really love it. You know, it's like you can say exactly what would you want, and we have two different artists. Now we're gonna start also working with a girl that paints beautiful mandalas, and yeah, like. So if somebody wants their boards, because this is a tool for the rest of your life, really, you know. So if somebody likes octopus or loves their dog so much, they can, you know, send us the picture of how their dog or puppy looks like, and a beautiful artist can paint it on the boards too, and it's like all hand painted, because just to make something even more special out of it for us, you know.
God, I love that. Absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with the group. I'm sure everyone here has really enjoyed this session. Regarding the link and buying the acupress boards, I will post the discount code and the link for everybody in the group. Just keep an eye out for that. And we will, and we'll connect again, hopefully, on another session where we can all actually practice together. It'll be fun.
Nice.
Thanks, David.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Yeah, thank you for showing your faces here, and everyone that's joined, and let's keep going with the healing. Let's keep going with the health, and sharing as much as we can. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, David. Bye. Thank you.